Have you ever wondered why you biased your specific ATEEZ member? It feels totally accidental at first, right? You save a few 2 a.m. edits, replay a vocal clip when you can't sleep, and suddenly you're deep in the fandom. We're covering each member today. Seonghwa, Hongjoong, Yunho, Yeosang, San, Mingi, Wooyoung, and Jongho. Don't forget to check your record as well. Psychology tells us that human beings don't attach to people randomly. You actually orbit the exact member who mirrors something deep inside you. You want them deep inside you. Sometimes it's a version of yourself you abandoned long ago. Other times, it's a version you're absolutely terrified of becoming, all over your face. When you choose an ATEEZ bias, it actually tells us way more about your mental state than theirs. So let's do a little investigation of you. What does your bias say about you? Let's get into it. If you bias Seonghwa, oh my gosh, I bias him as well. We're like totally twins, but let's be honest. You're the type of person who notices absolutely everything while pretending you're totally clueless. You can read a room in milliseconds, all right? You catch the tiny tone shifts, the weird eye movements, and the awkward pauses in conversation. You collect emotional data on everyone around you like a secret agent. And because you're always so calm and composed, everyone assumes you're an emotional rock. But let's call it what it is. You only learned how to be that poised because dealing with other people's chaos completely exhausted you. Biasing Seonghwa usually means you crave a gentle love that doesn't treat you like a child. You want someone who can handle your intensity without running away. You've got a soft side that you protect like a locked vault after midnight. It's beautiful, but almost impossible for people to enter. You want him to enter you. You're also incredibly hard on yourself, not touching it. You've got this invisible perfectionism running your life, and you secretly feel like you have to earn love by being useful, beautiful, or perfect. But what you're actually desperate for is permission to just stop performing and rest. All right, I know I just dragged you for the filth, but let me ask you this question really quick. When was the last time you actually let someone take care of you without immediately trying to pay them back for it? Speaking of people who carry the weight of the world on their shoulders, that brings us right to our favorite leader, Hongjoong. Oh, if your bias Hongjoong, what the hell? There is a 99% chance you've spent your entire life feeling slightly too much for the people around you. You've been told you're too imaginative, too emotional, too ambitious, or just way too loud inside your own head. Biasing Hongjoong screams that you built your personality out of pure survival. You turned your quirks into armor. Maybe you were totally misunderstood growing up, and honestly, maybe you still are. But instead of shrinking to fit in, you turned yourself into a literal storm lantern. Oh my God, I hope you got extra batteries. That sounded weird. You learned how to glow, even when you were cracking apart. You constantly romanticize the future because you love a good reinvention. Starting over excites you, but let's be real for like a moment. It's also exhausting. When you're constantly changing shapes, you rarely feel like anyone actually knows the real you. You just want someone to look at the weirdest, most chaotic parts of your soul and say, you spend all your energy inspiring others while secretly wondering if anyone sees you when the stage lights go down. You want to go down on him. Do you express yourself because it genuinely fulfills you, or because you're terrified that if you stop, you'll completely disappear? Now, if you want to talk about people who hide their true depth behind a totally different persona, we have to look at the Yunho stands. Yunho stands. Stand up, sit down, turn around. I'm one of them too. So, you are deceptively emotional. I'm sorry, you are. You're very emotional. And it's time to admit it. All right, I admit it. Hands up. On the surface, everyone sees your humor, your warmth, and your easygoing golden retriever energy. You want them to pee on your leg. But underneath that chill exterior is someone who is deeply, hopelessly sentimental. You remember tiny details from 5 years ago, and you carry nostalgia around like loose coins in your pocket. Biasing Yunho means you crave emotional safety way more than you crave chaotic excitement. You love people who make the world feel easy to breathe in because inconsistency absolutely wrecked you in the past. You've defaulted into being the stable one in every single friendship and relationship. You're the comforter, the listener, the reliable one, but because you bring so much light into the room, people completely forget that you have a dark side too. You've just mastered the art of packaging your pain inside a joke so nobody else feels uncomfortable. You love deeply, and once someone matters to you, they're stuck in your DNA forever. You want his DNA stuck in you. I can't help it. So, how often do you make yourself emotionally available to people who never actually make any space for you? For someone who hides in plain sight, let's move to a member whose fans feel like they exist in a totally different dimension. Yeosang. You bias Yeosang, like you gravitate towards him. There is a strong chance you spend a lot of time feeling emotionally misplaced. I'm dragging you again. Like everyone else got an instruction manual for life and your copy got lost in the mail. Like the fuck? Biasing Yeosang reflects someone who processes reality quietly but with insane intensity. You probably struggle to explain your feelings in real time because your emotions don't fully process until long after the moment has passed. So, what do? You replay conversations in your head at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, thinking about what you should have said 3 years ago, 3 days ago, an hour ago, me, what I'm doing right now, but this isn't my bias, but you know what I mean. You are a million times more resilient than people give you credit for. You survive hard things, completely in silence. But let's be real, that quiet survival has a major, major downside. Nobody notices when you're drowning because you've mastered the art of looking totally calm underwater. You are drawn to deep, haunting beauty, and despite looking reserved, you are desperate to be understood without having to over-explain your existence. Question for you. Have you been hiding your real emotions for actual protection? Or because you've just stopped expecting people to understand them? All right, let's pivot to a corner of the fandom that keeps everyone on absolute edge. You want him to edge you. San biases. Why do I do this? San biases actually scare me a little bit, but here's why. Because biasing San usually means your emotions are absolutely massive. He's probably massive as well. I mean, look at the man's back. Even when you try your hardest to act detached and cool, your feelings consume you entirely. You do not know how to do relationships or hobbies halfway. You dive headfirst, you already know, into people, music, and fantasies until everything becomes completely immersive. You crave high intensity because standard calmness feels suspicious to your brain. If a relationship isn't passionate, consuming, and slightly transformative, a part of you questions if it's even real. But here is the psychological drag. I mean, everyone's been dragged in this video so far. People like you constantly confuse emotional activation with emotional safety. You chase people who trigger your nervous system because chaos feels familiar and predictable to you. You learned early in life that affection comes wrapped in emotional extremes, so now you subconsciously look for people who recreate the same stormy weather. Yet, underneath that addiction to the drama, you are unbelievably sincere. You just want a soul-level closeness that transcends language. Like, San seems so romantic when you think of all that stuff, but oh my gosh, he is so intense. And I really do think puddings are very intense as well. If you are, just drop it down below. So, do you actually want peace or violence? Or do you only know how to recognize love when it hurts a little bit? Speaking of intense emotional weather, the storm is over. Let's talk about the absolute duality of the next member. Mingi, oh my god, Song Mingi. Ooh, like he has a dual personality. So if you stan Mingi, you basically have two completely different personalities living inside your brain. Like not like a multiple person. Let me just finish. They're like roommates, okay, who refuse to talk to each other. Version 1 is bold, hilarious, magnetic, and chaotic. Version 2 is deeply introspective, isolated, and emotionally heavy on your tongue. Biasing Mingi means you constantly swing between wanting to be desperately perceived and wanting to disappear from the face of the earth. You crave attention and fear it at the same time. You use your humor as high-level emotional camouflage. You'll make an entire room laugh just to skillfully redirect them away from your actual vulnerabilities. And despite acting confident, you are secretly hypersensitive to rejection. We've all seen how Mingi is. Like, he's so cute. Like, you want to protect him. He's so amazing. You overthink every text, you reread messages, and you notice shifts in energy instantly. There's also a huge chance that creativity is your literal survival mechanism. You need art, music, or daydreaming because reality simply isn't spacious enough for your mind. Who are you actually when nobody is around to react to you? Fix on! Now, let's move to the ultimate masters of emotional defense mechanisms. Wooyoung. If Wooyoung is your bias, you are basically attachment theory, or maybe like just a jacket with no shirt. Whatever. Here's the attachment style video. Go watch it after this one. All right, let's go. Biasing Wooyoung means you desperately want intimacy, but you are completely terrified of actual vulnerability. You crave closeness, but the second someone gets too close to the real you, panic sets in, and it usually disguises itself as teasing, sarcasm, avoidance, or chaotic behavior. We see how this man acts at fan signs and during men's. Like we see all of the chaos our black cat is giving to us. So people see you as charismatic. I mean, we do. Come on. Charming and life of the party. But that charisma is just premium camouflage. If you keep everyone entertained, nobody will notice how lonely you actually feel. Remember, I'm not a doctor or therapist or any of the things. I'm just a lady on the internet who's read things. You don't want to be temporarily desired. You want to be completely chosen. Rejection hits you harder than you ever let on. And while you act totally unaffected, you're internally replaying bad interactions like a melting tape inside your brain. You are fiercely loyal to the people you love, but because you fear abandonment, you have a bad habit of testing people just to see if they'll actually stay. And I'm not talking about stray kids stay. I'm just talking about like they stay. Never mind. Wammies, just answer this below. Do you actually let people know the real you? Or do you only show them an entertaining version that guarantees affection? And finally, let's talk about the anchor of the group and the fans who carry the quietest weight of all. Jongho. Jongho. If Jongho is your bias, there is a very specific, quiet kind of sadness living inside your subconscious. And here's a tissue. It's not dramatic, okay? It's not visible. It is completely controlled. Biasing Jongho usually reflects someone who had to grow up and mature way too fast. You learned responsibility and composure when you were far too young, and you learned how to suppress your own needs because being practical was the only way to get through. People view you as the dependable, strong, grounded rock of the group. But being the strong one is incredibly isolating when absolutely nobody checks to see if you actually are doing okay. Or if you're just enduring the pain. Ouch, oh, that hurts. What can we do about this? I don't know. So, do you value integrity? You do. You value integrity and emotional honesty more than anything. Fake attention or superficial small talk completely bores you. But because your standards are so high, you struggle to find people who feel real enough for you. You care deeply and permanently, but the scary part is that you've convinced yourself your own emotions are too inconvenient to share with the world. Let me ask you this question. We're being so for reals right now. Have you hit the like and subscribe button? Slay. So who taught you that being needed by others was more important than being understood by them? Oh, I know you're like, Chris, why do you always do this? Maybe that's the real reason we bias who we bias. It's never just about surface level attraction or talent. Sometimes it's a sudden shock of recognition. Sometimes it's a little bit of grief or a lot of projection. It's projection. It's your inner child sitting quietly in the audience, pointing at the stage and whispering, that feeling right there, that looks familiar. Because at the end of the day, it's your inner child sitting quietly in the audience, pointing at the stage and whispering, that feeling right there, yeah, that looks familiar. But because at the end of the day, every single bias is just a mirror of us. Like me, for an example. Yunho and Seonghwa are my biases. Seonghwa is my first, and Yunho is my second. I see Yunho and Seonghwa in me. No, wait, I want to see them in me. No, they're a reflection. They're a reflection. Okay, let me just finish. And maybe the real reason you found him or them in the first place is because a hidden part of yourself was finally ready to be found, too. Which member did you choose, or members? And did this, drag fest completely expose your life? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more K-pop psychological takedowns of your self-esteem. And there's a playlist. Oh, that video is really good. Those videos are really good. Okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna talk to you later. Okay, bye.